In a world filled with constant upheaval, is the key to peace and resilience found in fighting against fate, or in simply learning to accept it? Imagine you're stuck in rush hour traffic, running late for an important meeting. Your first reaction might be frustration, maybe even anger. But what if, instead of resisting this moment, you chose to fully embrace it? What if you could find meaning, even a sense of affection for this challenging situation? This isn't just wishful thinking, it's a philosophy that has guided great minds through the harshest trials in history. Today, we'll explore Amor Fati, a profound Stoic principle with the power to transform the way you face every adversity in life, turning each moment into a part of your journey toward growth and resilience. Let's dive in. 1. The essence of Amor Fati. Have you ever been surprised to see two people face the same challenge but react in completely different ways? One person may crumble while the other grows stronger. What creates this difference? The answer lies in how they perceive what happens to them. This is where Amor Fati, the art of loving one's fate, reveals its unique power. It's not merely about acceptance, it's about genuinely embracing everything that fate brings. Consider a familiar situation. You're stuck in traffic on your way to work, about to be late for an important meeting. People's reactions to this situation vary widely. The first person might be frustrated, constantly checking the clock and growing anxious about being late. The second might grudgingly accept it. Well, there's no point in being upset. But someone practicing Amor Fati would see this time as a valuable opportunity to listen to an inspiring podcast, call a loved one, or simply reflect on life. This example reveals 3 levels of response to adversity. 1. Negative reaction, resistance, and complaints. This is the most common reaction when faced with an unwanted situation, feeling anger and dissatisfaction, constantly complaining and blaming, asking, "Why me?" wasting energy on futile resistance. Example: when a flight is delayed, a passenger yells at the airline staff, repeatedly complains about the service, and lets the bad mood ruin their entire day. 2. Passive acceptance, endurance. This reaction is a step above negativity, but it's still not ideal. Accepting because there's no other choice. Adopting a just have to deal with it mindset, not seeking meaning or value in the experience, passively waiting for the situation to pass. Example: when a project fails, a manager thinks, "Well, it's done now," and simply moves on without drawing lessons or seeking improvements. 3. Amor Fati, active acceptance and appreciation. This is the highest level of resilience in facing fate, not only accepting but also appreciating the situation, actively seeking meaning and opportunity, turning challenges into fuel for growth, finding beauty in even the difficult moments. Example: when a company goes bankrupt, an entrepreneur not only accepts the failure but also values the lessons learned about risk management, uses the time to acquire new skills, builds deeper relationships with colleagues, discovers new business opportunities that weren't visible before. The difference between these 3 levels is not just in outward reactions, but also in inner attitude and energy. While a negative reaction drains energy and resistance and passive acceptance wastes opportunity, Amor Fati transforms every experience into positive energy for growth. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, offered a simple yet profound example. Can you cook food without changing it? No, you cannot. Just as life cannot grow without change and challenge, we cannot build muscle without exercise, gain wisdom without learning, or grow without facing difficulties. Friedrich Nietzsche expressed the essence of Amor Fati in a powerful way: to wish for nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity. This isn't passive resignation, it's a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all events in life. Every moment, whether challenging or favorable, is an indispensable piece of the greater picture of our lives. Marcus Aurelius also reminded us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When we complain and resist reality, our soul becomes stained with negativity and dissatisfaction. Conversely, when we choose to love our fate, our soul is dyed with peace and strength. Amor Fati is therefore not about surrendering to fate. It's the art of transforming everything that happens, good or bad, into fuel for growth. It's the ability to see opportunity in adversity, find meaning in hardship, and discover beauty even in life's darkest moments. Number 2. Amor Fati in modern life. Amor Fati isn't a philosophy to sit neatly on a bookshelf. It's a tool for living better each day. Let's consider some familiar situations we all encounter. Imagine you're on your way to an important meeting when suddenly it starts raining. What's the typical reaction? Complaining about the weather, worrying about wet clothes, or feeling frustrated by a ruined day. But what would someone practicing Amor Fati do? They would feel the cool rain on their skin, listen to the sound of raindrops, and appreciate this vibrant moment of life. The rain isn't an obstacle, it's part of the story of that day. Or suppose you've just lost your job, one of the most feared situations in modern life. Many would fall into depression, blame themselves, or curse their circumstances. But with Amor Fati, this can be the beginning of a new chapter. What did Steve Jobs say when he was fired from Apple, the very company he founded? It was the best medicine I ever tasted. This failure led him to even greater success with Pixar, and eventually back to Apple with a renewed vision. Thomas Edison also offers a powerful lesson in Amor Fati. At age 67, when his lifelong research facility burned to the ground, rather than despairing, he told his son, "They'll never see a fire like this again," and calmly added, "Don't worry, it's all right, we just got rid of a lot of rubbish." From those ashes, Edison not only rebuilt his lab, but continued creating influential inventions, leaving a lasting legacy in the history of technology and science. Even the deepest losses can be seen through the lens of Amor Fati. This doesn't mean denying pain, that would be unrealistic and unhealthy. Instead, it's about recognizing that through loss, we learn to appreciate what remains, love more deeply, and live more fully in the present. So, how can we practice Amor Fati in daily life? Here's a simple 4-step process. 1. Accept reality. When something happens, rather than asking, "Why me?" say, "All right, this is my reality. What will I do with it?" This isn't surrender. It's the first step toward effective action. 2. Find value in every experience. Every event, whether good or bad, is a piece of the life puzzle. Just as an artist uses both light and dark colors to create a complete work, life needs challenges to bring depth and meaning. 3. Turn challenges into opportunities for growth. Every difficulty is a gym for the soul. Rejected from a job? It's a chance to build resilience. Losing a loved one? It's a lesson in love and impermanence. 4. Rewrite your story. Instead of viewing life as a series of random events, see it as a perfect chain of dominoes. Each moment, even the hard ones, leads you exactly where you need to go. Amor Fati doesn't promise a life without challenges. It promises a way of living where every challenge has purpose. In a modern world full of uncertainty, this might be the key to finding peace and purpose, even in the most difficult circumstances. Number 3. The benefits of embracing Amor Fati. Let's explore the practical benefits Amor Fati brings to our lives. Have you ever noticed that most of the stress in life comes from resisting what has already happened or is currently happening? We often waste so much energy complaining about the weather, traffic, or other people's decisions, things completely beyond our control. Amor Fati frees us from this burden. When you stop struggling against reality, you'll be surprised at how much mental energy is released. Imagine yourself as a bamboo tree. When a strong wind blows, the bamboo doesn't resist rigidly, but bends with the wind. And because of this flexibility, it never breaks. This is the resilience that Amor Fati builds within us. Failure is no longer something to fear. It's just a bend in the road, an essential part of the journey. When you view life this way, bouncing back from setbacks becomes as natural as breathing. In the face of challenges, many people tend to freeze in the role of a victim. But with an Amor Fati mindset, every obstacle is a puzzle to solve, an opportunity for growth. Instead of asking, "Why do I deserve this?" you ask, "How can I turn this into an advantage?" This is the shift from a victim mindset to a problem-solver mindset. One of the greatest gifts of Amor Fati is the ability to master our emotions, not by suppressing them, but by understanding and accepting them. When you stop labeling situations as good or bad and instead simply see them as happening, negative emotions lose their power to control you. You become a calm observer of your own feelings. Amor Fati is also the key to living fully in the present. When you stop resisting reality, you can truly experience each moment of life. An unexpected rain shower no longer feels like a nuisance, but becomes an opportunity to feel refreshed. An evening stuck in traffic is no longer a burden, but time to enjoy the sunset or listen to a favorite podcast. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, Amor Fati grants us true power. Not the power to control circumstances, that's impossible, but the power to control our response to them. As Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our freedom and power to choose our response. Amor Fati helps us recognize and use that space. These aren't abstract or distant benefits. They are practical, tangible changes that you can experience from the very first day you practice Amor Fati. Every time you choose acceptance over resistance, love over resentment, you are building a life of peace and resilience, one step at a time. Number 4, practical steps to develop Amor Fati. Embracing fate doesn't come naturally to most of us. It's a skill that needs to be practiced, like a workout for the soul. Start this journey with practical steps. 1. Begin with conscious acceptance. Start with the smallest things. When you're stuck in traffic, instead of immediately feeling frustrated, try saying, "All right, this is my reality right now, I accept it." Don't try to like it right away. Simply accepting it is a big step. Viktor Frankl taught us that even in the worst situations, we can choose our response. 2. The art of reframing. Whenever you encounter something unfavorable, ask yourself, what can this teach me? Marcus Aurelius said, "The obstacle in the way becomes the way." Rejected from a job interview. Maybe it's an opportunity to learn and prepare better. A power outage while working. It could be a moment to rest and reflect. 3. Practice daily gratitude. Every night before bed, list 3 things you're grateful for, even things that seemed negative. For instance, I'm grateful for being late to the meeting today because it taught me to prepare more thoroughly. When you find something to appreciate in every situation, Amor Fati becomes more natural. 4. Visualization exercise. Spend 5 minutes each day visualizing yourself facing challenges calmly. Imagine the feeling of acceptance in your body, how you breathe, how you smile in the face of adversity. This is like a mental rehearsal for real-life challenges. 5. Cultivate self-compassion. When you make a mistake, instead of self-criticism, speak to yourself as you would to a close friend. It's okay, this is a chance to learn. Self-compassion isn't weakness, it's the foundation for building inner strength. 6. Learn from the masters. Spend time reading about people who practiced Amor Fati. This includes not only Stoic philosophers, but also figures like Nelson Mandela, who, during his 27 years in prison, turned captivity into his own university. He didn't just accept his situation, he used that time to learn, reflect, and develop a vision for a new South Africa. Mandela's story is a vivid example of the power of embracing and transforming adversity. 7. Reflective journaling. Each night write about what challenged you today. How did you respond? How might you have responded differently? What lesson did you learn? 8. Small actions, big impact. Start with the smallest actions. Smile in the face of difficulty. Take a deep breath instead of complaining. Find humor in awkward situations. Share a lesson from failure with someone else. Each of these small steps builds your capacity for Amor Fati, transforming everyday challenges into opportunities for growth. Amor Fati doesn't demand perfect understanding. It requires a steady commitment to practice in everyday life. It's not a destination, but a journey of inner transformation. Like a patient gardener nurturing plants, you need time to cultivate this mindset. Some days, you'll succeed in loving your fate. On other days, you may find yourself reverting to old reactions. That's perfectly normal. The true power of Amor Fati doesn't lie in helping you avoid hardship. Instead, it grants you a new perspective, where every challenge is an opportunity for growth, every failure a valuable lesson, and every adversity holds its own meaning in the story of your life. As you begin practicing Amor Fati, be gentle with yourself. Start with small shifts in how you perceive and respond to reality. Over time, you'll develop a new inner strength, the ability to embrace life fully without judgment or resistance. Finally, remember that Amor Fati isn't about becoming numb to life. Quite the opposite. It's about opening your heart to everything life brings, trusting that every moment, whether sweet or bitter, is weaving a perfect tapestry of your unique life. Thank you for joining Philosophic Stoic today. If you found value in this video, feel free to subscribe, leave a like, or simply type "Keep it up" in the comments. Your support helps us create more content that you'll love. We appreciate having you as part of our community. Until next time, stay wise and serene. Have a great day.